All right, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kwakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, and salutations to those that are doing this work in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Nathan Yala from the GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back at you with another lesson. And I pray and hope this lesson is edifying. And this lesson I'm going into, Esau can't be saved and the brutal history of oppression that he put on Jake. Okay, Esau cannot be saved and will not be saved. Okay, and he will be punished for all of the brutality and evil that he did to the Israelites. So the title will be something like that. All right. So I'm gonna start off with a quick precept because I got a video that I want to play. In this video, he just goes over one of the things that Esau did, which was horrific. Like, I mean, it takes a very wicked individual to come up with some shit like this that, and I this was new because I never heard of this. I've heard of buck breaking, I've heard of derbies dosed, I've heard of alligator babies, I've heard of them lynching, burning, hanging, cutting women open, the raping, the pillaging. I've heard about uh um the messed up living conditions. I mean, a lot of stuff. How they work in the field. They will work them into the fields until their muscles detached. I mean, but I never heard of this. This was something new, and this was equally as horrific as everything else that I've heard, even more so because this is just absolutely terrible. But this is why it's important for us to know this Bible and for us to know history. Okay, this is why these things are important. Now I'm for one that I can say I can study a lot more, but it's important to study and go into these scriptures and go into secular history and understand where we at in prophecy and what's happened and what's been happening, so you can identify who the enemy really is. Okay, because there's no way that you can see that this devil, okay, Esau Edom, has done all of this goddamn evil and wickedness, and he can't be the wicked. He can't be the evil man, the man of sin. There's no way that anybody with a rational thinking brain could sit there and say that this man is not the man of sin. This is not the evil man on the earth, the wicked. Okay? Because this is the only people that have done this shit. There's been slavery, and there's been some brutal slavery, but there's never been a time where you had chattel slavery and people were done like this. Okay? And this is exactly why it's very important for us to know history, okay, and to go into this stuff and take the time to study it. All right. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost before I'm talking to anybody else. All right. And so I'm gonna start off with this quick precept. This is the book of Job, 8:8. It says, "For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself for the search of their fathers." So, okay, we're not talking about the fathers that we had, in the late 80s and, the late 70s and 60s. No, we're talking about the fathers that lived in the ancient world, the fathers that been through, the chattel slavery, that understood who our enemy was and what we were going, who our enemy was and what we're going through. The wisdom and knowledge and understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai that was lost. Okay. This is why we listen to our elders and we listen to the apostles, because these are our spiritual fathers. All right. These are the ones that we're getting this wisdom to, and we're acquiring about the former age, how things used to be, because a lot of people, they think that the old way is a bad way. No, the old way was the best way. The old way was simple. The old way was secure. The old way was full of plenty, and we had less worry and less doubt. Okay, this new shit that Esau done brought, it creates a circumstance where we doubt everything. As a matter of fact, before I get this, I'm gonna read that again. Let me go to Deuteronomy. It's like, I don't know why I did that, but Deuteronomy 28 and 66. It's Deuteronomy 28 and 66. Okay. And it says, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have no assurance of thy life. And isn't that what we go through? We have no assurance in our lives whatsoever. We don't know if we're going to be able to keep a job, if we're going to be able to keep a career. We don't know. Everything that we do, everything that we have is temporary. Okay? We have no assurance in this life. All right? So that's why it's important for us to seek out what our forefathers went through so we can understand why. Okay? I'm going to grab another one real quick. I'm going to go to Ecclesiasticus 39. I'll start at verse 1. It says, he that is giving his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancients and be occupied in prophecy. And the ancients are our forefathers. So when you go back to this Job 8 and 8, it says, for inquire, I pray thee, of the former age. Those are the ancient times. Those are the times where our people were more connected to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? We knew how to work the land. We knew what to put in our bodies. We knew what to wear. All right? We knew those things. Now we knew how men and women should deal with one another. Okay? We knew all that stuff. But then here come this devil. Honestly, it wasn't the devil. It was us going off. That's why we was put in this situation in the first place. We went off as a people, but this devil is the one that took our history and who we were as a people and hid it away from us. All right. Ultimately, that was, the Lord said he was going to discontinue us from our heritage, but it was Esau's hand that was behind it. All right. But it says, for we are but of yesterday and knowing nothing because our days upon the earth are a shadow. We're going to live, our lives are nothing but a vapor. Okay. So what we learn today is nothing. That's why we have to go back and seek the ages of our father, because they learned something. The fathers before them learned something, and it had been a culmination of knowledge, okay, of information that was passed down. All right. So then going back, it says, he will keep the saying of renowned men. Okay. Renowned men, men of stature, men of character. Okay. Men of wisdom. Okay. Men of war, and where suitable parables, he will be there also. You're going to be there wearing out the table of a wise man. Okay. You're going to go and you're going to, see what's going on. All right. He will seek out the secrets of the grave sentences, and he will be conversant in dark parables. Okay. I mean, he's going to seek out these prophecies, man. He can go out and seek out this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and history. So he can understand history and know, okay, they did A, B, and C. When you, it's just like driving down a new road or you entering into a new city, right? When you enter into a new city, you're looking around, you don't know where to go. Okay. You're driving around trying to look for different places and you have no idea where to go. Then you meet some people who've been there for a while, and they tell you kind of like where the landmarks are and where the spots are, and then within a year, you kind of got the feel of it. You have a lot of understanding of how to navigate through that city. All right, because you had some people to help you out, to show you where the spots are. It's like that where I am right now. I've been here for a while and I'm still learning about spots and places that I never even heard about. Okay. And it's the same with these scriptures. There are men that will be able to teach you things. You think you know this thing, okay? But your forefathers can teach you things about this thing that you never even heard about. That's why, we pay homage to our elders and the apostles who teach us this truth, because they are our spiritual fathers, our spiritual forefathers. All right? Who teach us what we need to know as far as the truth is concerned, okay? And history. All right? So we want to wear their doorsteps out. All right. So that's why it's important to understand history. And when you understand history and you see what our forefathers went through because of this devil, okay, then you can well understand that this devil is not slated to be saved. He cannot be saved. You Jakes, you want somebody that's so evil, okay? You want somebody, it's like was it Barabbas? I think that it was Barabbas who Israel said crucify the Lord and let this man go. It's the same shit today. It's the same thing today. You guys want to bring a criminal with you. You want to let a criminal go free. This is why people need to be destroyed. This man is a vagabond and a criminal. Okay? He a fugitive and a vagabond, wandering from place to place, oppressing everybody that he comes across, but never facing justice for what he has done. Okay? So I got this video, just want to go over, touch a few scriptures, before we play it. But I'm gonna play this video, and this, I'm gonna let it play twice so you can suck in what he's saying and how horrible this shit is, and why, he gonna quote Job 8:8, why it's so important for us to know our history. All right.
It's crazy. He said that to stop us from communicating, they would burn this and put it here and here to punch a hole in our mouth. Then they would take this here and put it over our lips so we couldn't speak to each other. And our forefathers had so much wisdom and so much desire to be freed from slavery, they started coming up with beats and rhythm to communicate with each other. This is why the Bible tells you, Job 8:8, search for your fathers. We supposed to be searching for what our fathers been through. Look at this lock. She got a lock on her lip to stop them from speaking. A lock on the lip so they couldn't talk. And you mean to tell me God gonna save them people? The people that did that, they dead now. They've left legacy for their ancestors, their children. They now rule the world from the resources that they gained from the enslavement of our ancestors. They still living off of it today. And you mean to tell me that God is gonna save those people that did that to us, those people that died, that didn't get no punishment, that they not gonna be resurrected and punished? You ain't reading the Bible. You're in religion.
I'm just gonna.
Nobody wanted
Brothers
you
is
to do
crazy.
that.
He said that to stop us from communicating, they would burn this and put it here and here to punch a hole in our mouth. Then they would take this here and put it over our lips so we couldn't speak to each other. And our forefathers had so much wisdom and so much desire to be freed from slavery, they started coming up with beats and rhythm to communicate with each other. This is why the Bible tells you, Job 8:8, search for your fathers. We supposed to be searching for what our fathers been through. Look at this lock. She got a lock on her lip to stop them from speaking. A lock on the lip so they couldn't talk. And you mean to tell me God gonna save them people? The people that did that, they dead now. They've left legacy for their ancestors, their children. They now rule the world from the resources that they gained from the enslavement of our ancestors. They still living off of it today. And you mean to tell me that God is gonna save those people that did that to us, those people that died, that didn't get no punishment, that they not gonna be resurrected and punished? You ain't reading the Bible. You're in religion.
And he makes a really good point. You know, I don't know what group he's with, but the Lord gonna save them, huh? I mean, you got to be joking. So I'm gonna go to another quick precept. This is the book of Psalms, 50 and 21, and it says, I'm gonna speak up. I'm gonna go up to 19. It says, oh, you know what? All this. Give me 1 second. I'm about to read this real quick. Slack it. All right, so all right, let's go up a little bit. It says, this is Job 50 and 16 is what, but unto the wicked Yahweh saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or thou should take my covenant into thy mouth? You see that? What you taking the covenant to my mouth for? When you can't even do right. Look how wicked and evil you are. Look how you oppress my people. Look how you terrorize the earth. Okay? How you obey nothing that I tell you to do. Nothing. You twist everything. You make it to where a woman can commit adultery with no problem. Okay? You make it to where you sell abominable foods in the store. You make a mockery of the Lord. You crucified him, calling him a so-called white man when he's a so-called black man, a man from the tribe of Judah, with woolly hair, dark woolly hair, and dark brown skin, not black, but dark brown skin. Okay. And it says, "Seeing," verse 17, "seeing thou hatest instruction and cast my words behind thee." And that's what this devil does. You hate instructions. You cast the words of the Lord behind you. Man, have you ever sat there and had a conversation with the devil while you're trying to impart some type of wisdom to him that he don't want to hear? Well, you see how they look? It's like their mind just goes blank. They don't want to hear. They don't want. I mean, in theory, it sounds good to them doing right, but in practicality, no, because they can't. They're always looking to do evil and mischief. Okay, they can't be instructed, especially not by the Lord. Everything the Lord tell them to do, the Lord tell them not to drink blood. They drink blood. The Lord tell them not to commit adultery. They commit adultery. They say don't murder, don't kill. I mean, don't murder. They murder. Don't steal. Y'all steal people's land. You know, y'all take all the resources. Everything that's in the scriptures. Don't mix. I mean, something as simple as don't mix fabrics. Not only do y'all mix them, but y'all created some shit that don't even exist out of plastic and start selling it as damn clothing. Okay? And it's verse 18. When thou sawest a thief, thou contendest with him and have been partakers with adulterers. Like, yeah, you stole from them. Oh shit, man, let me help. Hey, I'm gonna get a cut. I'm gonna get a cut of this. Oh man, you know, we can worship false idols and bang other men's wives. Yeah, let's do that. You consented with those that are doing evil. It says, thou givest thy mouth to evil and thy tongue to frame deceit. You're the accuser of our brethren. You make up lies. You project the very things that you do. You project onto Jake. Now, Jake, I am not saying Jake is innocent and Jake ain't doing some of these things. But what I am saying is that predominantly it is you, Esau, that's doing all this stuff. You're the one that's destroying everything. You control everything. You control all these multinational corporations and the media and control the land and all that stuff. You control all this stuff. So you're the one that's promoting this stuff. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So you're the one, the people are in mourning. So who's ruling? The wicked. It's clear. It says, thou sittest and speaketh against thy brother, thy slanderest thy own mother's son. This is what you damn devils do. You talk shit consistently about us, and we're the ones that's building up your kingdom. Now you want to try to throw people out, thinking AI gonna replace people, and it's not. We know that there's other reasons behind them bringing AI into fruition, but you know that's what they do. And it says, these things hast thou done, and I kept silent. The Lord just kept silent and let you do them. The Lord let you put us through chattel slavery. The Lord let you put locks on niggas' lips. Locks on a lip. Let's just think about that. He burned a hole in people's mouths and locked their lips so they could not speak. You got a big ass lock on your mouth and you can't open your mouth, not to mention the pain that you must feel from that hanging from your mouth. You know? Just they would burn a hole in your lip to lock your lip. This shit is
Verse is
crazy.
crazy. He's
This is some crazy shit right here. I'm like, wow.
crazy. He said that to stop us from communicating, they would burn this and put it here and here to punch a hole in our mouth. Then they would take this here and put it over our lips so we couldn't speak to each other. And our forefathers had so much wisdom.
Right. Our forefathers had wisdom. Okay. They had wisdom. But continuing on, it says, these things thou hast done, and I kept silent. Thou thoughtest that I was together such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order right before their eyes. And Esau is in the process of being reproved right now. And he's setting us up. He's putting us in order right in front of his eyes. Of course, you got some camps that are going off, but hey, you got camps that aren't, like the Great Millstone. Okay. And the Lord is setting us in order right before their eyes. All right. This is the book of Sirach. Did I bring this out already? You know what? Even if I did. Oh, yeah, I brought this out already. I'm going to bring it out again. Okay. I think I brought it out already. Yeah, I brought it out already. All right. But just to go over it one more time, I'm just going to read through it just in case I didn't go over it, because I can't remember, because I did. This is my second time doing this video. First time I had some technical difficulties, so I can't remember for sure if I already did this in the second video. But this is the book of Ecclesiasticus 39. I'm starting at verse 1. It says, he that giveth his mind to the law his mind to the law of the Most High is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of the ancients and be occupied in prophecy. Yeah, I brought it out already. Okay, so all right, so let's continue on. All right, so let's go to the book of Isaiah, because people think that this devil is about to be saved, and he's not. This is Isaiah 14:21, and it reads, it says, this is 14:21, it says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquities of their fathers. You see that? Poking holes in people's lips and locking their lips. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquities of their fathers. And he also said something very profound too. He said that they're still benefiting from the things that we did so long ago, that they profited from us so long ago. And indeed they are. Indeed they are. That wealth didn't evaporate. They just grew that wealth, okay? Through fraud, through robbery. They grew that wealth, okay? And they grew the wealth and they brutalized us. All right. It says, prepare slaughter for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will cut off Babylon. I will cut off from Babylon the name and the remnant, son and nephew, saith the Lord. Okay? So these devils are going to get their recompense. You thought that the Lord was as one as you, but He's going to reprove you. He's going to set you in order, and it's happening right now. That's why everything is so. It's like like iron and clay, right? Partly strong and partly weak, and eventually the partly strong parts are going to be corroded because the weak parts are going to eat away at it. You know, because the weak parts don't have the strength, so they're gonna the strong parts are taking on more weight than they can bear, so to speak. Okay, you got a part of it that's is weak as clay, Like a person that has a bum leg, he gonna lean more to the strong leg. Well, eventually over time, the strong leg gonna become a weak leg too because it's taking more than it can handle. And that's exactly what this devil has done. He's put on more. He's taken more than he can handle. Okay. So all of this stuff is going to fall apart. The Lord is going to cut this man off. Okay, and destroy you for the iniquities of your fathers. Okay, you're going to be slaughtered as you should. All right. There's not going to be a continuing city. There's not going to be a name. You're going to be put out the earth for all of your evil. Okay. Now I'm gonna go to the book of Zechariah. Close on this. The book of Zechariah. This is Isaiah 1 and 15. It says, I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. Okay? So you took this thing way further than what it should have went. All right? So how can you be saved? How can you be saved with all the evil that you've done? With all of the wickedness you've done? With the history that you have? Okay? You have history all throughout the scriptures of the evil things that you've done, and you have secular history to back that up. How can you be saved? I mean, it's just, to me, I don't get how these people can be out here. Oh, save them from what? From what? CPS wasn't taking their kids away like they were taking your kids away. Okay? Their kids wasn't getting poisoned and being put in food deserts like yours was. They didn't fill your neighborhoods up with liquor stores and drugs and food deserts. They didn't do that to them. They did it to your ass. So my question is save them from what? They already have it. If things had it, okay, we didn't have it. So why do they get a second turn? Okay, why do they get another round to fuck things up again? Huh? Explain that to me, Christians. No. This is the end. Could you imagine the Lord coming back, doing all this work to refresh the earth, to bring things back to life, to where life is more abundant, and then Esau's released back on this world again? In a very short time, 1,000, 2,000 years, this place will be hell again. All the work will be for naught. This dude can't come back. Okay? So with that, I pray this is an edifying lesson. I'm going to end it off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakar Kadash. So the next time I say Shalom.